Tomorrow is arguably the biggest day of new game releases during this fall period, and it's really highlighted by one major PlayStation 4 exclusive, and along with that, we've got a lot of other titles dropping tomorrow as well, so I want to give you guys the rundown of everything. We've got 6 new games to go over, and before we get into everything, I just want to remind you guys to make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the bell notification icon so you are always notified of uploads, and that definitely helps out the channel too, so we always appreciate that. So without further ado, let's get right into it, and let's kick it off with, without a doubt, the biggest new release of tomorrow, and that is, of course, the PlayStation 4 exclusive Death Stranding. It's been a long time coming for Death Stranding. Originally announced all the way back at E3 2016, Death Stranding will finally be arriving tomorrow, and yes, there's been a fair share of criticism shared towards the game. Based on the reviews that have already been posted, it seems like it has gotten a little bit of a mixed reception, comparatively speaking, to Hideo Kojima's other titles. I mean, when you look at Kojima's other titles, it has been 9s and 10s across the board. Death Stranding really doesn't have that going for it because it is something so unique, and some critics have found it a little bit off-putting. The game on Metacritic still has an 83 out of 100, which is an incredibly good score. It's just that these days in gaming, anything that's less than a 90 is kind of seen to be a lukewarm response, especially for a Hideo Kojima title. You can say that doubly so just because it is Kojima, and he's known for delivering these games that get incredible review scores. Whatever the case may be, some outlets have given it really good scores. Yes, while Game Informer gave it a 7 out of 10 and IGN gave it a 6.8 out of 10, GameSpot gave it a 9 out of 10, EGM gave it a 5 out of 5, Destructoid gave it an 8, Easy Allies gave it an 8. It's really going to be one of those titles that I think it's going to be divisive from a consumer standpoint as well, and who knows how the game is going to turn out. And it's going to be one of those games that for everybody, it's going to be a little bit different. Some people are really going to dig the unique elements that Death Stranding is bringing to the table. Kojima is trying to establish a brand new genre with this game, and from that standpoint, I think people are just going to have an inherent level of interest towards the game, and it just being a Hideo Kojima title, we're always going to have a level of interest towards the game. At the very least, I will be incredibly compelled to try the game, even if it's not my cup of tea, and honestly, based on some of the footage that I'm seeing, and some of the reviews that I'm reading, and really hearing about some of the gameplay elements, this game might not be directly up my alley, but it's a game that I still want to give a full chance to, and that's because Hideo Kojima has built such goodwill with the consumer. He's delivered quality title after quality title, and ultimately, I feel like he's one of those developers that even if he puts out a game that might not be my personal cup of tea, it's warranted to me as a gamer to give this game a full chance, and I'm gonna do exactly that come tomorrow. And I imagine a lot of you guys, even if you're not completely invested into the game, even if you're not completely stoked about it, you still want to give it a chance just based on the interest factor, and I do think Kojima and his team deserves that. Hey, the game for you, it might be incredible as well. Visually, it looks fantastic. I'm sure the story is going to be very engaging, and ultimately, I think it's going to be a game that's incredibly divisive across the board and across all consumers. But again, it has an 83 on Metacritic. That is a very, very good score. I want to reiterate that over and over again because there's been this talk that the review scores have been disappointing, and yes, from a Kojima standpoint, it might be disappointing, but that's because the bar has been raised so incredibly high. From a general standpoint, an 83 is a really good score. So with that being said, yes, Death Stranding is out tomorrow, and I am very excited for it. Alright, also out tomorrow, and I would say that this is a pretty major release, the latest game in the Need for Speed franchise from EA, Need for Speed Heat. Now, Need for Speed Heat is playable right now if you do have an EA Access subscription. It's $5 a month, $30 a year. You get access to a bunch of EA Vault titles, you get access to a bunch of EA Play First trials, and Need for Speed Heat is one of those games you can actually play 10 hours of the game, which is a substantial amount of the game, and it's a racing game, of course, set in an open world environment called Palm City, a fictionalized version of the city of Miami, Florida, and its surrounding area. The in-game map features diverse geography, including mountainous areas and open fields, and unlike Need for Speed Payback, the game does not include a 24-hour day and night cycle. Rather, players can switch between day and night. During the day, players can take part in sanctioned race events, which reward players with cash to spend on new cars and upgrades. Then, things get a little bit weary at night, where you can take part in illegal street races, which would earn players street rep. The more rep player earns, the more aggressive the police will be during the night. Players must escape the cop and get back to their safe house before they get busted or the car is wrecked. The game also features a storyline in which players interact with the city's police force led led by authority figure Lieutenant Mercer. I'm sure people are not going into Need for Speed Heat for a compelling narrative, but if you do want a story out of Heat, it does have a semblance of one. The game itself will feature 127 cars from 33 manufacturers, with Ferrari returning to the game after being absent from Payback due to licensing issues, and overall the game looks quite good. Unfortunately, people have been trying out the Play First trial, and there has been a little bit of a mixed reception to this. Hopefully when the game comes out and through updates they can get a lot of the issues ironed out, but whatever the case may be, Need for Speed Heat will be seeing its full release tomorrow. Alright, so I would say that those are the two major releases tomorrow. However, tomorrow will also be bringing with it some other underrated titles. I want to first mention Arc System Works' Stay Cool Kobayashi-San, a River City Ransom story. If you like a quality beat 'em up, this is gonna be right up your alley. Kunio-kun's infamous rival that all River City series fans will recognize, the head of the Reiho High School Big Four, Kobayashi, gets his own game. Back in middle school, a mysterious event led him to meet a boy who was actually a time regulator, going after an evil organization that has disrupted the time-space equilibrium. After finding out that Kobayashi has a hint of mysterious power in him, Mizugochi has them set out together to take this evil organization down. So when Kobayashi's friends get abducted by the evil organization, he puts a calm face while burning with rage inside. He has to go rescue his friend and bring an end to this evil organization. The game is incredibly charming in presentation, has a very old school look to it, so if you like that pixel graphics art style, it's definitely going to be up your alley in that sense. And if you want a quality beat 'em up, this is going to be right up your alley. You can play it solo, you can play it cooperatively, local co-op, split screen, all that good stuff. So again, if you want a good beat 'em up, this is definitely going to be one to check out, and releasing at a very palatable price of $13.99. Next up, here's an interesting one. Jumanji the video game. Unite in an adventure and laughter in the action-packed game of Jumanji, the ultimate team challenge for those seeking to leave their world behind. Return to the jungle, play as movie heroes Dr. Bravestone, Ruby, Mouse, and Professor Shelley in a hilarious new 3D action-adventure game. Team up in online or split-screen modes, work together with up to 3 friends or AI teammates to defeat the enemies, survive deadly traps, and save the world. This is definitely a game that you do want to play with a couple of friends, so keep that in mind. Dangerous locations. The world of Jumanji gets bigger with beautiful but deadly new mountain, city, and jungle environments. Endless adventure as you hone your skills and strategies and unlock new outfits and weapon styles. No 2 rounds of Jumanji are ever going to be the same. If you want more of a humorous action-adventure title, Jumanji the video game is definitely going to be something to check out. Definitely not a game to get super invested into, but if you have a couple of friends to play it with, I do think it'll be a quality pickup. And again, it'll be out tomorrow. I don't know how many people are going to pick it up tomorrow exactly with all of the competition, and you would ultimately want a squad of 4 people to play this game, and if you're playing online, that means everybody has to own a copy of the game, so that is going to get a little bit jumbled. However, if you do want an engaging local split-screen experience, Jumanji the video game is going to offer that as well, so just wanted to make note of that. Next up, here's a very charming little game that came out on PC all the way back in 2015, and that is MechaNika. MechaNika is a point-and-click adventure title, and it tells dark humor, and it was received really well on PC when it came out over there back in 2015. 372 Steam user reviews, and 93% of those reviews are positive. It notes, if it's not cool, it will disappear. If you're not cool, hide. MechaNika is here. She's a brilliant girl that doesn't fit in the world she lives in. Perhaps it's the chocolate shake with a short of cognac she carries in her backpack, which makes her different, or maybe it's the fact that at 7 years old, her favorite things are the transfer of energy, magnetic fields, and electrical engineering. But anyway, it doesn't matter if her parents don't listen to her. It doesn't matter if her teacher ignores her. It doesn't matter if her classmates are dork. Nothing matters anymore because she has a plan to solve everything. A really odd plan. So this is a story-driven title, expected to be a little bit humorous, and it did release at $3.99 on PC, so hopefully the PlayStation 4 release will be priced similarly, because if that's the case, I do think this is a game that ultimately some people will just check out because of the cheap price point. Whatever the case may be, MechaNika will be out on PlayStation 4 tomorrow. And lastly, I want to give a shout to a game that's getting barely any attention at all. There isn't even much known about the game online, and that is Police Chase. In Police Chase, thrilling missions, powerful cars, and fighting crime will be your routine, whether it's issuing offenders with parking and speeding tickets or thwarting terrorist plots and other crimes. Only one thing counts in your job: guarantee safety in your beat. Definitely looks to be more of a narrative-driven title, and Police Chase will be out tomorrow. Again, not much is known, so I can't speak on it too much. And that's gonna conclude this video. Again, I would say tomorrow is one of the biggest releases of new games of the year, just on the basis that Death Stranding is a game that so many people have been looking forward to for north of 3 years. Again, announced all the way back at E3 of 2016. Death Stranding looks incredibly compelling, and for me, it's a game that I feel like I have to play as a gamer, as somebody that loves video games, just because it's something so unique, and experimentation is something that we need more of in game development. A lot of games follow their typical formula. Maybe using the word generic would be a little bit too strong, but a lot of open world action games, a lot of traditional RPGs, and those games can be great. They can have great narratives, they can have great gameplay, but if you want gaming to evolve, sometimes experimentation is required, and sometimes it might not be a full 100 out of 100. It might not be perfect, but Death Stranding, I think, is a step in the right direction for Kojima to realize what he can do as a developer after moving away from Metal Gear. So from that standpoint, very excited for that. And outside of that, you got Need for Speed Heat, you got Stay Cool Kobayashi-San, a River City Ransom story. Jumanji the video game looks entertaining, Mechanikle looks cool, and Police Chase looks to have some interest in it as well. That's gonna conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.